Ephesians chapter 6, that we're in a spiritual battle, fighting against spiritual wickedness in high places. But in 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, it talks about the mystery of iniquity that's working in the world. So in light of that, it would have been nice to have had a decisive landslide for President Trump on Tuesday night, but the likelihood of that really, in all honesty, in light of the spiritual battle, it was slim, because the devil does not want to give up. If you've been following things outside of the United Forum, the Great Reset, there is a letter, an open letter Trump that's circulating from Cardinal, I can't think of his name, an archbishop or whatever he is. He absolutely nails it in terms of how the Catholic Church and this Pope have been co-opted by the whole New World Order thing to usher in this world, global religion and global government and global economy. There are various groups that are out there that are actively working on what they call the Great Reset. The Pope is following this. This Archbishop identifies this. His days are probably numbered in the Catholic Church. He may have a mysterious heart attack or something, but he really pointed out a lot of things that are going on. I had a thing I had posted online about one of those in the World Monetary Fund, I think it is, about the Great Reset. The Great Reset involves setting the stage for a one world economic system. I need to sign on before you it's going on. A one world economic system and a one world government. The idea is that sometime January or by the middle of next year, they're going to reset the world economy on the basis of socialistic principles. Do you see why the left and why the pressure so strong to get Biden and Harris in there? Because that's what they need, because if the United States is not involved, they can't accomplish their goals. President Trump is hated, as I've said before, not because he's Trump, it's because he's not on board with the globalist agenda. And he interfered with it. Now, if all we got is a 4-year window, thank God for it. And it really has enlightened a lot of people and slowed them down. But it's not over yet. There's still court challenges. There's still recounts coming. There's still contested things coming. It looks like we're holding the Senate with, albeit a smaller majority, but still holding it. What is not being talked about as much is there is a slight possibility we could take the House. The Republicans have not lost a seat in the House.
Nope. And gained
They gained the last I don't remember what it was now. Top of my head. It's 5 or more seats. Yeah, 5, 6 seats, something like that. But they've been gaining seats. In fact, let me update this one. I'll tell you.
Unless the Biden voters were lazy and didn't vote down the ballot.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
But when they steal the vote, they don't vote down the ballot.
Exactly. They only vote for the top one, and that's it.
Right. That's why they're saying it doesn't make any sense.
How 5 seats.
How can we hold the Senate, win seats in the House,
Yeah.
but then lose the presidency?
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
it doesn't
and
add up. It does not make sense.
Most of the states that have been called for Trump are slim margins, within 1% or less. A lot of them. Some of them maybe at 1.5%, or certainly less than 2%. And when you look at them on a state-by-state ballot, basis, you're looking at that percentage equating to, in one case, a few hundred votes, up to maybe 30, 40,000 votes, in that general range. Those are things that in recounts and everything may be overcome. So we don't know. That's why there's no sense throwing in the towel. It's not over yet. We certainly pray, but it's certainly something to fight for. But see, the psychological aspect is to demoralize us so that we'll quit.
Yep.
And that Trump will quit. And then Biden, sails in. Remember, they themselves said Biden should under no circumstances
Right.
concede. If this was the other way around, there's no way he would concede. Hillary said that he not to concede all the way up until the Electoral College. Now, the Electoral College doesn't meet until December, and that's who actually elects the president based on the votes, in the various states. Most states allow the elector to cast their ballot, without requiring them to reflect the state vote. There's a few states that do require it, but if something were to come out, let's just say for the sake of argument, that President Trump holds a press conference here in another week or two and says, I hate to do this, but look, here's actual of Joe Biden meeting with the leaders of China and the Chinese Communist Party, and they're making plans to steal our election. Here's the money they're giving him. This is undisputable. It could be that some electors would say, well, maybe we shouldn't vote for him because he's not, you see what I'm saying? So that's a far off thing, though. I'm just saying that's one thing that's not what we're banking on. What we're hoping for and praying for is that these recounts, Michigan had President Trump 50-some%
Yep.
to Biden, way down, and then they stopped the count about 2 in the morning. They stopped the count in several battleground states at the same time. They come back a few